Okay, we're back for the last of the two shows at the Times 3 at the Silver Spoon in West Hollywood. Our restaurant, our locale, our clubhouse is about to be torn down. But we do have our regulars here. We have,
yes.
Yeah, I got to announce Don Sherman on the right, and our regular guest, Jack Wallace, actor, raconteur, muscle man, comedian. And of course, Don Sherman, comedian, writer, actor.
He's taken over for Harry Northup.
Yeah, Harry Northup is getting a root canal.
Root canal, that's a nice day for it.
I mean, he chose getting a root canal over having this, being part of this video.
Yeah, he said,
Don't say my name too loud. The landlord is looking for me.
Oh, you're not. Very successful.
Oh, you're a skip. You skipped on your rent?
Well, yeah, you know.
I thought you owned a mansion. Isn't that your Rolls Royce parked out front?
Oh, you saw that.
Yeah.
That a beauty, huh?
Yeah, that's yours.
No,
yeah.
I give it a wash once in a while for the guy. He throws me a couple of bucks.
So you got to drive to dry it off. Drive it to dry it off.
But in the long run, money's not the answer to your life, right? Money. As an actor,
Never saw too much of it. I wouldn't know it if I saw it.
Well, you must be a very good actor, because the actors who make a lot of money are not as good as the actors who haven't made that money yet.
No.
But you are here doing a lot of acting. Acting is, how do you get a job on Broadway? I mean, sounds like an impossibility.
You're doing a show and you need a bigger venue because you're so loved. I guess so. You move it to Broadway.
So you have to be with the show to get on Broadway? Did you audition for a lot of shows on Broadway when you started out?
Yeah. But, when I started out.
Remember that? Remember that?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember. It started, we walked through the door at Lincoln Center, and I guess they were arguing, and they said the next jerk that walks through that door, we're hiring, because it was Jerry Sachs, and he takes a long time before he, before he casts. Yeah, I only can speak the truth.
Okay. Okay. Hallelujah.
Then, so you were the next jerk that walked through the door.
The guy that talks the truth. Go on.
As opposed to the last jerk that walked through the door.
Really?
Yeah, being a jerk.
No kidding. You mean, did you go there to get on that show?
No, we went there to visit and say hello.
How old are you?
That's a Hollywood question.
Yeah, I must have been in my 60s, 50s, 60s. You know, time just...
You did your first Broadway show in your 60s?
Oh, that wasn't my first. What was my first?
Oh, you were
somewhere. Yeah, I think my first. Glengarry was my first one.
First Broadway show.
Yeah. Glengarry, Glenn Ross, David Mamet. You know.
A lot of
And you were doing movies before that?
It was a non-musical. We ran a year, so that was good for a non-musical on Broadway.
Yeah.
So.
How does it feel to work on Broadway? That must be.
It feels great. It feels great. Some of the big shows were right next to us, Chorus Line, and this and that. Bob Fosse, dancers and swingers and ringers
and swingers, yeah.
And me and my buddy were a couple of mooches, you know, and we're talking about, look, we're bums in Chicago, and now look, you know, and now look, we're playing Broadway.
Bums in Chicago. You produced in Chicago as well, right?
On a small level, on a tiny level of my own shows.
That's
in a bar.
That's something I never heard. Did you ever hear of that? Producing shows and putting them on the bar, small time.
I only heard it from Jack.
People could drink watching the show, and the more drinks they had,
the better the show got.
The funnier the show would seem.
That's right.
Yeah, oh, definitely. As a matter of fact, I went to Equity and we asked for a new kind of contract, and I think they called it the mini cafe. Was the name of the contract.
Oh, okay. As opposed to the hat contract in Hollywood.
Sort of a dinner theater. They could drink.
They could drink. Yeah, they could have a sandwich. You know, who knows what.
Well, you did Seahorse, as I recall.
Oh yeah, that's right. J. Edgar Moore
Edward Moore's play.
Edward Moore play. And we ran for a year. I was depressed. And I was in this bar, and I looked at him and I said, "How would you like to do a play?" He says, "Well, we got music in the back." And I said, "Yeah, well, after the music, or before, how about before the music?" He says, "Yeah, because they get it late." So we did it, and it ran a year.
Wow, that's great.
Well, you know.
And you produced it.
Yeah.
And you acted in
Me
it.
and a fellow named Danny Goldring.
Didn't you play the lead character? Yeah.
Yeah, just two of us. And a woman named Marge Galitsky.
That's how do you like movies? I always have like very small parts where you're sitting all movies. They tell you to be there 6 o'clock in the morning, and you're there 6 o'clock in the morning, and they're sticking things in your eyes and makeup, and they get to you like 12 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And they want the initial reading, you know. And then you do 25 takes, and what do you think of those takes? Over and over and over, and you got 3 lines. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And
the story of my life.
Is that the sign of an insecure director when you're doing a thing 100 times, 200 times, or is it a perfectionist?
Just 100 times.
Just 100 times. Yeah, that's a quickie.
I don't know what it's a sign of. It's a sign of he wants to do a good film, maybe, or it's a sign that they got money.
Yeah,
they can do.
Yeah, they want to use up film stock and lab time.
I guess that gives him confidence if he has so many options that he's not sure what it is.
I'm not sure. I'm so happy you're asking me something. Most people know better than to ask me a question.
Why?
Well, they don't get a proper answer.
I don't think there's anything improper about your answer.
Well, no, it's not an impropriety.
Could be funny, yeah. Could be funny. You could have had a joke or whatever.
You could ask my wife. I never.
I'll never ask your wife.
Oh, right. She negates me.
Once they find out there's something you don't know, oh boy, they think you know everything.
In my case, it isn't much.
Yeah, she thinks you're very smart, man.
I know. Don't tell her any different.
Well, I had one.
She didn't know the difference. She can't talk back.
But you're very happy. You're always with your wife.
Yeah. We're inseparable.
Insufferable as well.
Yeah, it's just nerve-wracking.
Love at first sight, right? You'll love her.
It's nerve-wracking.
Be with her. It's more fun with her than with anybody else, even though she's eating with another guy. Do you see that? That doesn't bother you? That doesn't bother you? I mean, you're better looking at her.
Yeah, it bothers me. If she's paying, it bothers me.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see who's paying me.
Yeah, you've never seen that guy before, so.
Oh, that's right. Who is that guy?
Yeah.
Oh, it's Michael Son, a friend of mine.
God, it got awfully noisy in here all of a sudden.
Great actor.
Most of the bosses start with, "Oh, he's a friend of mine." He's a friend of mine, you know. Who would ever think? But I think marriage to me, I don't see people out like without being married.
Wait a minute, you're married for how many years?
50 years.
50 years.
50. That's a lifetime.
A great marriage.
Great marriage. 50 years.
Got a lot of time invested in that one.
Yeah, a lot of time, a lot of love. And it's still great. It's marvelous.
Maven, she's a wonderful dancer and singer, and oh my God, you gotta have you're a lucky brute.
How do you make life good?
Yeah, well, that's it. You need a good buddy.
Oh yeah.
And she says, "What are you complaining about all the time?"
It's 2 minds is better than one sometimes. In my case, me and her, it's still one mind.
Hers.
Yeah, but you're the type of guy, you seem like you're being ruled and run. But the bottom line is when you come up that Chicago comes in, you can't be buzzed. No! She is that no.
Rude.
And when you've been saying yes,
rude and broken.
Yes, dear, yes, dear, yes.
I'm like a horse that's been broken. You know.
It's nice.
This way back.
It's good. Put the liver
Oh,
on.
it's good. You know, it's two people working
They lead you
together.
around the powder, whacking or something to wake you up. Not a bad life.
I don't know about the
They're
whack.
so strong, I'm sure that the horse,
Yeah.
what you're putting on him is nothing.
Oh, that's right.
He wants to do more. It's like a weightlifter, you know? That's nothing. You think that's something?
Yeah. I'll throw you off, no problem.
Oh, well, I see those horses in Manhattan staying there waiting. We're waiting for the next lover to get on there.
They're
Oh,
trying to
the handsome cab.
Yeah, they want to get rid of them. They want to get rid of them.
there's
Romance is going from
the
life.
grapevine says they're trying to get rid of those,
Yes.
those horses, and they're wonderful. You know,
They're trying to get rid of them. I mean, what are they?
Yeah.
And replace them with what?
Oh, they
Yeah, I
did.
know.
They do have a replacement.
With what?
They have these little cars that old-fashioned, brand new, but they're old-fashionedly made, like a wagon. And they run on
is that thing with the two wheels?
energy, you know, they don't run on gas. And they have a few working off already. Like they want to have a whole fleet of them rather than these horses.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
It's those two-wheel things, and they stand on them like that.
Yeah.
The inventor died from being on one of them.
Yeah, he killed himself or something.
Went over a cliff.
Yeah.
But it's a safe thing. It's
You
just
don't want to do that?
the inventor. Yeah.
He would open the lift
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry to say.
and died for his invention.
I know. People are probably laughing now.
The Segway, yeah, that's what it
But
was.
it's rude to laugh when somebody dies.
It's not nice.
No. So don't laugh. Terrible thing that
That's
dogs
one thing I thought was really great. I was on a Maud. I did Maud. It was so funny because she loaned somebody a brooch,
Yeah.
and they died.
Oh, geez, was it?
And they buried her with that brooch.
Wow.
So she's going in the line where you view the casket, and she sees that brooch. That's her brooch.
Jesus.
Do you take it from the room? It's very important to her.
If nobody's looking.
Jesus, you take this, here's your brooch, and they're going to throw it in the ground.
Yeah, you say, well, no, that just doesn't go with your eye color. I better take that off. You can't be buried for eternity with
How
that.
do you resolve that?
I always say to people, well, have a good day, have a good day. So I'm at this wake, and it's an Italian wake, and the women are crying, oh my God, and they're pulling out their hair. Oh, Jesus, oh God. And so I view the body and everything, and I go to the widow, you know, and I go to give her my condolences and everything like that. And then as I'm leaving, it slips out. I go, have a good day, right? And everybody's looking, what did he say? What? You know, and then I realized I said it. And it was a horrible feeling, and they lived in my building. I had to face it later.
Yeah, you had to get in the elevator with them and have a nice day.
Were you a superintendent of a building?
No, I just lived there. That was enough.
You moved a week later.
God, what a building that was. In the village. In New York.
Do you like living out here
Morton Street.
rather than that walking around the village, going uptown, downtown, subway, all that? You get in your car, everything is 20 minutes. I want to go to Peru, 20 minutes, make a left turn and left hand.
I miss it. I miss New York.
But you know, New York, every time I go back, I'm really disappointed. This is not that city. It's not that city.
But it's an organized city. Out here it's one one suburb blends with the other suburbs, and there's no unity. It's not like a city. But after a while, you get so crazy that it makes sense to you.
Yeah, you find yourself going onto the 59th Street Bridge at about 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
After they lock you up a few times, it makes sense.
And then you hear back, they're car to car, jammed. And there's an ambulance. That ambulance can't get out.
That's right.
The guy in the back, he waits, and it's going around and around, and you pick that up, and they're screaming in there, what's the matter? They get nothing you can do.
Well, sometimes you get into the emergency room anyway, and it's so crowded they don't take you. I was in the hospital in New York. I don't want to say the hospital, but the guy next to me, I thought he had cobwebs on him. And the nurse is coming by and she says, "Who's next?" And I said, "This guy, you better wake him up. I think he's passed on." And she examines him, and he was dead as a doornail, waiting in the emergency room. I was there for about 3 hours waiting, and I'm on base.
To a dead man. That doesn't inspire too much confidence in that hospital. What did you have?
Well, I don't know. I had something wrong with me,
but you felt great compared to this guy. That's why I put you next.
After that, you walked out.
To make a long story short, so they can't find out what it is, and I'm on a gurney, and nobody knows what it is. And this guy is mopping up. He's mopping up, and he says, "I think I know what you take some water, put a little salt in there, you drink it down, and you'll be fine." Which I did, and which I was fine, and I left. And he knew more,
Oh, well, of course.
What was wrong with your stomach?
Yeah, I used to go to a doctor that was $450 a visit on the Park Avenue, and he didn't know what I had. And then I had one Dr. Taviano in the village, and he didn't know what I had, and it was $40 a visit. So I tell a friend of mine, I don't know who to go to. He says, "Go to the doctor. That's $40 that don't know what you have."
Yeah, it's cheaper.
Sure. Right. You save a few dollars.
Or ask the building super.
Right.
For free.
Yeah, or
You'll
the janitor, maybe he knows more.
Yeah, he'll say throw a little salt and some water and down it.
And eventually, it was a couple of duodenal ulcers.
Who'd you go to? You ulcers.
Yeah.
So you were worried. You were worried.
Yeah, I was worried. Frightened.
Actors supposed to be devoid of worry.
Oh, well, on stage, I didn't give a shit. Oh, excuse me. I didn't give it a care,
A hoot. Okay.
My wife doesn't want me to swear. And when I'm pounding nails and I'm putting up a picture, and I...
Your wife doesn't want you to swear?
Yeah.
So you nail your thumb. What do you say?
And I nail my thumb with the hammer, and I'm racked with pain, and I run out of the house, and I slam the door, and in the hallway I go,
You need to swear.
It hurts. And then I go back in the house, so I'm not allowed to swear in the house. You guys know.
Maven says, "Dadgummit." Dadgummit.
That's a good one, dadgummit.
That's like the real profanity.
Yeah.
Dadgummit.
Well, what's the worst thing that you can say? What is the worst cursing word you can say? It's the worst thing you can say is "God damn it," because you're swearing against God.
Yeah. No.
The other stuff
you're
is,
asking him to damn you.
The other stuff is there's a
More
curse
guys,
word.
more guys say yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you want some guy to be damn the world. You're gonna go to God. Who built the world?
Yeah, I know. You know.
It's a stupid move. You don't ask him for a stupid move. You know what a job it was? One day, heaven and earth. Show me a construction company.
Thank God he's not my landlord. Here he comes now. Here he is. Oh, here he is. I'll see you later. I gotta scoop.
Heaven and earth in one day, and if you were late, it would cost you a fortune. Times were tough, but he came in on time.
Where did you live in New York?
I lived on 23rd Street and 1st Avenue, right?
23rd Street.
And I see people walking and they say, "Sir, could I?" Yes. You go to the corner, by the light, go across the street. There's the entrance. See where's his entrance? Ask Angelo. And we lived across the street, and there was a coffee shop, so all the hospital lived from there. And the coffee shop was given to a guy, one guy, who was a dope. And the owner tried to resurrect him, so he gave him this cool coffee shop to do something, to make a living, make some money. And he turned around to all the personnel at the hospital. So he was
The kingpin.
he was popular. That coffee shop was born. It was bang. They were standing in line. The owner, the old Jewish guy, named Mr. Burnham, couldn't understand it. He said, what's going on here? I said, oh, man, he screamed at the guy, you crazy, I'll lose the building.
Well, Jack,
I had a place by the village, and one night this guy that was arrested, but he jumped out of the patrol car and he ran over to our building. He waited till somebody opened the door, and then he walked in with him, and then the woman that was the superintendent there says to the guy, "Oh, how come you left him in? He had handcuffs and everything." And the guy says, "It's the village, you know.
You gotta trust everybody."
well, Jack, you're good at this. What's our word of the day as we close out the show?
Shenanigans."
Good. Was that a real word?
Finanigan?
No, I just made that up in the spur of the moment.
Hey, Jack.
Hootenanny.
This is the finale.
Hootenanny.
This is the closing.
Hootenanny.
Hootenanny. Okay, that is a word.
That is the word.
It's a Western word. It's a Western word.
Yes, it is.
A dance of some
He's a
kind.
Western fan. Did you know that?
You know, we say all of these words, but we don't explain what they are. And I think a hootenanny was a form of a dance.
Yeah, it was a party.
Yeah.
You're going to hootenanny.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Well, goodbye from the West Hollywood
And
Silver
now you know what
Spoon.
a hootenanny was.
We do.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a good day. Toodle.